I began by asking the students to create self-portraits. I enticed them to the table by offering them a mirror, and as they gazed in, they explored their expressions, their emotions. And when they were ready, they drew for me a portrait of their self, of what they look like from their point of view. In working with crayon and watercolor, I observed the children marvel in the material, sweeping large strokes of fluid color across their papers, watching closely as pools of watercolor paint beaded off the crayon resist and absorbed into the paper. Painting and drawing on wet fabric sparked excitement in some of the children who had previously been less engaged. This art engagement awoke these students through their senses. They squeezed water onto the fabric with a sponge. They felt the enhanced fluidity of the tempera wash, and they experienced the vibrancy and thickness of color created by drawing with chalk pastel. I led many sets of hands through the process of throwing pottery. Little 5-year-old wiggling hands, big strong hands of young men, chubby hands, delicate hands, timid hands, and aggressive hands that went calm with the touch of clay. The children were as enthralled with the visceral quality of clay as I am. The spinning wheel, soothing and vibrating, slip filling the crevices of their hands. Working with thick acrylic paint, I encouraged the children to roll out layers of color. As the paint rolled, they could hear and feel the tacky texture, the paint making little sticking sounds as it covered the paper. Stencils allowed the color of previous layers to show through as the layers built upon each other, and the children inscribed marks into the thick paint. In this printing process, the children made impression marks onto foam plates. They coated the printing plates with paint. They pressed the color onto their paper and peeled back the foam to reveal their printed image. One by one, I invited each child to sit in a chair which was positioned in a spotlight. I placed my hand on their shoulder and I encouraged them to sit still as I traced their silhouette. After we captured their profiles, I sent them back to the table where they filled their face with their own marks. Expressing gesture, playfully we molded colored modeling clay. The children identified actions and emotions expressed through body language. With joy, they watched their creations come to life through animation.